I'm gonna fight 'em all. A 7-nation army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it off, taking their time right behind my back. And I'm talking to myself at night because I can't forget. Oh, back and forth through my mind behind a cigarette. And the message coming from my eyes says leave it alone. Don't wanna hear about it. Every single one's got a story to tell. Everyone knows about it. From the Queen of England to the hounds of hell. And I catch you coming from my way. I'm gonna serve it to you. And that ain't what you wanna hear, but that's what I'll do. Far from this arbor of forevermore, I'm gonna work the straw, or make the sweat drip out of every pore. And I'm bleeding, and I'm bleeding, and I'm bleeding right before my Lord. All the words are gonna be from me, and I will sing no more. And the stains coming from my flesh and from my
Hashtag Bannon the Cannon. Welcome, everyone. This is totally impromptu. This is the AndySaysMD show. MD, not your medical doctor. I'm not giving you any advice for anything, so don't blame me. Blame the guy on the phone. It's the 16th of November, 2021. We got... Can everybody see the picture up there? You see that guy, that handsome devil up there? That's Dr. Jonathan.
Right next to him.
Yeah. Dr. Jonathan McGreevey running for U.S. Senate in Maryland. And he's going to take that seat because why? He's got the goods. He is the whistleblower that Steve Bannon is looking for. Everybody got that news today. He's trying to find information on domestic terrorism. So he needs some help. And look no further, Steve. We got the guy right here. Go ahead, John. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. How are you?
They're good.
Thank you for joining us. Oh, good. Firstly, thanks everyone on Sunday. It was a great event. Esther, AndySaysMD.
Hold on. The audio scratchy or something. What the fuck is going on here? It's not you. Sorry.
I'm glad you recorded that. I said no teeth.
How does sound choppy? What did I do here? I didn't do anything differently. Man, this is like
choppy.
Yeah.
I don't like machines that talk to me. I routinely cuss out the self-checkout at the grocery store. I'm not even kidding. It's like, insert card, take card out. Shut up. It's like, I hate this. Make up your mind.
You said it's digital glitching. Is it better now? Lots of static.
I can hear you fine. I can hear you fine.
Well, yeah, we're on the phone, so it's easy for that, but it's not rendering well for some reason. Damn it, Broken Anthem, just come over here and fix my stuff. You can still hear just subtle modulation. It's scratchy like a short. Well, shit. I don't have another cable here for my microphone.
Hang on, let me turn this off. Is that better?
Is that your white noise machine?
Yeah, it helps me sleep, that's for sure.
This is so professional. Hold on.
Sorry, I was channeling my Dutch Rupersburger.
Alright, let me unplug this and plug it back.
I mean, I can't follow this technical stuff. Control Alt Delete.
It's only on my side. Yeah, my phone is near my PC. It's got to be next to the microphone because, that's how we communicate with John. So, is it better? Any better at all? Anyone? I unplugged it and plugged it back in. Yep, it's better. I did something. I unplugged it. I hit Alt-Control-Delete. All right, so.
I told you, when you just pull it out and stick it back in, it always helps. You didn't blame me.
Maybe I got like another microphone on or something. Everybody's saying my shit sucks, but yours is good. Oh, of course, John's better than I am.
I got the same crappy headset. It can't be that much better.
All right, let's see. If I get closer to the microphone, does it sound better, guys? Every time I speak, but yours, okay, whatever. It doesn't matter what I say. They say they can hear you fine, so that's what matters. Anyway, back to the beginning. It's the 16th of November, 2021, and we got John here, John McGreevey, running for U.S. Senate, and I'll repeat everything I just said. He's going to take that seat. He is the whistleblower that Steve Bannon is looking for, so take it away again, John.
Hello, everyone. Again. Hope everyone's still doing well. It's kind of an impromptu, get together quick type of show. I'd like to thank everybody for the event on Sunday. Everybody had planned it. Everyone showed up. I met some really great people there. It was great. Everybody was there for a common cause. It was so invigorating to be around the people like that. Nobody cared about where you came from, who you were. Just let's focus on the problems. It was great. And Esther, AndySaysMD. So, super nice lady. As far as Steve Bannon, yes, Steve Bannon is looking for whistleblowers. They want people to come forward with information about the government using terrorist tactics, terrorist surveillance, things like that they use on terrorists against the American people. Now, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that once or twice. I
Maybe.
blow that whistle so often, his wife's getting curious. So, I've been talking about it for years. So, yeah, I know about it. And the Dirty Trick Squad, that's exactly what they were doing. And I actually have people ask me this, like, we didn't have an office that said Dirty Trick Squad outside. This isn't Barney Miller. This was a group of people who are working together, abusing their office, abusing their authority and their power to enrich themselves, manipulate things. And so we didn't sit around drinking bad coffee and doing dirty tricks. This was a group of people that were ordered to do these things and were working together from different agencies. So, but yeah, they were using the authority and the power and the reach of the government and software and computers and things like that that were intended to be used against our enemies, against people like terrorists, to protect the country, and use it against you, against me, and use it to manipulate people. And they did in many cases. I'm involved in a case now in San Francisco with the same thing. They manipulated cases to enrich themselves. And I'm fighting that one. It's a case online. I'm sure you'll see it. I'm on it, but it's part of it sealed because of what I provided. I'm not supposed to talk about, so here it comes. I'm not holding anything back. People say, you can't talk about it right now. It would be bad. Okay, here we go. We're live. So, same thing I'm doing in the Senate. I'm going to put it right out there. I'm not hiding anything. I'm not keeping these people's secrets. I don't want your secrets in my head. You're disgusting. I'm going to put it all out there.
Amen.
Anyway, they found almost 70,000 Bitcoin. I mentioned this before. They found it in a drawer, basically, in the DOJ desk. Now, it's worth a little over $4 billion. So, who would like to find $4 billion in a desk drawer? Yeah, anybody. And there's actually more that they're not aware of. There's not, this is one Bitcoin wallet. There's actually 6, which I was not supposed to tell you about either. But I know where they're at. Yeah, sorry, slipped. But 3 were considered savings accounts, where once they accumulated a lump, they put it in there, and that was their retirement fund. This is their dirty retirement fund. They manipulated cases and stole Bitcoin, and manipulated cases and stole assets and seized bank accounts, and converted all that to Bitcoin, laundered it. I mean, what the government is looking at, the DOJ is claiming that it's their property, and they can auction it off as they see fit. The judge has attached it to the Silk Road case because of Sean Bridges and Carl Mark Force, DEA. Sean Bridges was Secret Service. Carl Force was DEA. And they've attached it there. Now, they've actually asked officially Mr. Albrecht, who ran the Silk Road, are these your Bitcoin? He said, no, I have no idea where they came from. That's because this is their dirty retirement fund. I'm on a video I made for a group of investigators in 2016 talking about how Bridges and others control millions and millions, untold millions of dollars online. I've talked about this many times. And they found it. They found it. And in January, the judge took the case in San Francisco and went through all the evidence and found it. And not only that, Bridges accessed it after he got out of jail. First time it's been accessed since he went away. Shocker. But it is his case. Now, the thing with this case is, I do have a claim myself because they stole my stuff. I'd like to have it back. When they stole it, it wasn't worth nearly as much. But now it is. I'd still like to have it. But I don't want them to profit from their crimes. They're desperately trying to hide their involvement with this because they want the other 5 accounts to go unnoticed. They want access to that. And I'm not going to let them profit from their crimes. I'm not going to let them steal from the other people and keep it. The most egregious one of all to me is, I've mentioned this before, they would plant child porn on people's computers. This is the Cheryl Atkinson case and many, many others. They would put it on your computer to control you. They put it on there, and then, oh, well, our forensic expert found this on your computer. I have no idea what that's on there for. I don't know what you're talking about. I said, well, it's possible, but it depended on how they put it in. They would hack your computer and put it on there. And what I mean by that is they didn't just put on one picture, one movie. Bridges was so good at it. He did this many times. They could just put it on there if they want to, but he could actually go in one time and load it on your computer and make it look like you had been downloading it over the last 2 years because of the dates and the data on the images and videos. Okay? So let's say they knew your schedule. You worked every day, 9 to 5, you got home, kids went to bed at 10, 11:30 that night, bam, you're in there downloading porn. They could make it look like that. And they did. And it scared people because they're like, I don't want this on there. I don't want anybody to know anything about this. I have nothing to do with it. Whatever. And they would plead to something lesser to get that off the record, but they had to give up the money and the property, and that's what they were after. And those people didn't know that. They knew they were innocent. They had nothing to do with it, but they had no idea how it got on there. And they had no idea that it was the government's own expert, their own forensic expert in charge of this, putting it on there.
Yeah, and there was nobody they could turn to fix it for them, so they just went to jail.
Because he was the top expert. You're not going to find somebody at the university, you're not going to find somebody that works at Best Buy, who can refute it, because this is the government's top expert. Yeah. He's completely out of the case. He's a third, and this is just a third party. No, he's not. And here's the proof. They have found it now. And I know where they came from. I know where the other ones came from. There's nearly 70,000 of them in just this one wallet that they're talking about now. There's 5 more wallets. Those, depending on what's in the 5th one, at last count, was it'll be about another $3 billion or so total. So you're talking about almost $8 billion.
So are they going to follow the cookie crumbs all the way back to where it originates? Do you see that happening, or is it going to be more like isolated issue?
No, it's getting a lot of press. They're not following the cookie crumbs because they don't have to. I gave them the information, and I can provide the rest of it. I know where the cases came from. I know who was manipulated. They sent some of these people to jail just to get their property. And that's how they did it. And it wasn't just that. You're talking about cash that was skimmed off of drug busts by the DEA. Cash came off ATF deals that would be laundered through Bitcoin. And that's where it came from, and it accumulated. Of course, even when they started doing this years ago, it wasn't worth as much, and they've grown huge in the amount. But to me, one of the worst ones is the people doing this, like Bridges and the others. They were taking child porn images and videos of children being horribly, horribly abused and placing it on someone's computer. They were distributing it for profit. Their whole goal was to manipulate people but get the money. That's trafficking. There are many people who traffic child porn who are not personally into that, but they do it for the money because it's lucrative. Well, that's what they were doing. They were distributing it, planting it, whatever, all over the place to get money. That's trafficking, and I want them charged. I also don't want them to get a dime off of this, and I want to allow that money to go to the children.
Yeah, absolutely. They do. And,
I don't, right.
And there's tons of other people that just know about it, right? And being complicit is part of the problem. I mean, everybody...
They'd stay quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you've got... there's people... these are people actively involved in it. And there's still... there's a whole group of people I've talked about Dirty Trick Squad. You got half of them in prison. But people want to pretend like, oh, it's not me, I don't have anything to do with them. Of course you do.
Yeah.
And like, for instance, you have Sean Bridges, everybody knows, in prison, just got out. You have Carl Mark Force, who was early released because of COVID or something. Carl Force was his partner in DEA. He was DEA in Baltimore. His partner and longtime co-worker is Rosati, the guy who just threatened me online, or actually threatened Garrett, thinking that it was me.
Yeah.
To keep my mouth shut, threatened my life, threatened my freedom, broke into my phone, got into my records, and we have those audio files. which are now in the court's hands. And they want to pretend like I have nothing to do with it. I am not connected to that in any way. Your partner just got out of prison for doing the same thing. You want to pretend like you don't know him?
Yep.
You know, it's same people. And why is he threatening me? Because he wants his portion of that billions of dollars. That's his dirty retirement fund.
Yep, and
That's all he's got.
They're just lashing out now because they have nothing else they have no more ammo to throw at anybody. I mean, once it's all out there in the courts and public record, there ain't shit they can do about it.
That's right. They're losing their billions. They've sat back doing the dirty tricks, screwing people over, lying on the stand, planting, fabricating evidence, destroying exculpatory evidence. They did it to me, and we've discussed it. Now, in my case, the people who did it to me filed the false charges, had me in prison, arrested my wife. One's in prison, forced into retirement, under investigation. Even the attorney in the case has now been permanently disbarred. And yet, they would pretend like, oh, well, it's old. We can't deal with it. But the court out there is certainly dealing with it because it's a perfect example of how they manipulate things. And then you have these so-called experts.
I don't think there's any statute of limitations on, I mean, that's crimes against humanity, right? But, I mean, when you're involving children, I mean, even if they got away with it for so long, I don't think there's a statute for that.
Well, there is restitution under Bacon's Law and different things like that for the children who have been abused.
Yeah.
Where you were not the abuser, but you perpetuated it through the video with the pictures, things like that. I mean, some of the pictures that are going around, some of the video, some of those kids are 30s. You know, they're in their 30s. And hopefully have recovered, moved on with life. But then to see it everywhere, to hear it out there, it damages them again. Yeah. And they're just being continuously violated. So they get compensation in different ways. The judge orders things like that. But I don't want the DOJ to get, you know, these $5+ billion in Bitcoins and the other ones that I know where they're at. I don't want them to get all of that and just say, okay, it's ours. We can do what we want with it. Because when there's other claimants, there's people who are ripped off. And they're the kids who are constantly abused. Yeah. The DOJ in San Francisco seems to be doing a great job. I mean, they are really dealing with stuff. And I wouldn't want them to take stolen merchandise that was taken, especially in this horrible way, and sell it. And further victimize the people who are already victims.
Yeah, it's a charge for every time the picture circulates, right? So, I mean,
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so they should be facing several life sentences. And do you have the name of the case offhand so people can look it up, to the one in San Francisco?
Yes, I can give it to you. This is, I got the number here. The name of it is the United States of America versus approximately 69,370 Bitcoin. The case number is 3:20-CV, it's a civil case, -07811. That's 320-CV-07811. That's the case. Now, these Bitcoin showed up, and everybody just wanted to play dumb. We have no idea where they came from. She's my cousin, I swear. You know, this kind of stuff. This is how they want to act. And they're like, we don't know where they came from, but they're ours. You found them in our office, so we get to sell it. No, sorry. And the judge out there, who is really good, he started looking at the case in January, went through all the available evidence, everything, and saw that they were clearly linked to Bridges and Force and these other people in Baltimore and the Silk Road. Now, just a brief recap. Bridges was the e-commerce, electronic money, Bitcoin expert for the whole government. Mm-hmm. And Force was yet another dirty DEA agent in Baltimore, working with him, Dirty Trick Squad. And they managed to take over the Albricht's position as, you know, basically super user status for the Silk Road, all of it. They're talking about a worldwide dirty marketplace. And there was actually legitimate business being done on there. A lot of people weren't even aware that it was a dirty marketplace as well, because there were different rooms and different menus and different ways to get into it. So there were legitimate people on there who lost money as well. But he was able to get on there. He had access to everybody's accounts with tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of Bitcoins on there. And he started grabbing them, just taking, and ripping people off and hiding them. This is why it's been said that he was going to leave the country. And, as soon as you hit the guy, boom, as soon as he's out of prison, he's gone. He's got, $6-7 billion to work with. I think he'll do okay. Yeah. Okay, this is one reason that he had cell phones and laptops, delivered to him when he was in prison, because he had that kind of pull and he had federal agents helping him.
Yeah, because they could pay him off with the money once he got out.
Big time.
But his dumb
Sure,
ass
you can
went
get anything
after
you want in
him.
prison.
Yeah.
You can have anything you want brought to you in prison.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you have the money and the connections. You want cigarettes or a pizza party? It's not a problem. You just have to pay the right people. There are drugs, there are weapons, there are guns, there are phones, there are cell phones, smartphones, computers, whatever you want. It's right there. If you have the money. He did. But the people I was speaking with out there in relation to this case, they couldn't believe it. They said, I cannot believe that you have audio and written threats made by a retired DEA agent about this. And I said, oh, he's not retired. He's back on duty in Baltimore. And they were like, they couldn't believe it. And they're like, oh, yeah. So requested and they accepted that begin investigations. And they're doing that. They're also bringing my original case from 2009 to the federal court for serious review. So, yeah, it's finally. So, I don't want these people to get away with it. Yeah, well, thank you very much. I've certainly prayed for it. I know we all have. I don't want the people to get away with what they've done to me or anyone else. I'm not going to let them. I've been fighting it since 2009. And, then, of course, I explained to the court there and DOJ, and like, why did you do it sooner? I said, I'm on the record that day saying it was crap. And I explained it. I said, but in 2009, 2010, these were men of integrity. You didn't question them. You were a peon scumbag. And now all of them are forced retirement, dirty. Their cases are being reversed. People exonerated, disbarred, in prison. So, yeah, it's a big difference now. Oh, yeah. But it's destroyed everything. And I don't want them to, but I really don't want them to get away with it. I don't want them to abuse the children even more. I mean, when you have, like Mr. Bannon's asking for, dirty tricks, they're using these tricks against the people. They've done this to terrorists, but they're using it here. If Mr. Bannon would like to speak to me, it'd be a privilege. But, everybody knows I'm on the record with it. And they do this to us. They do this to the people, and there's nothing you can do about it. And they'll do it. Say they do that. This is the thing. This is the wall you're up against. Just this group in Baltimore. You come up, and here's the U.S. attorneys are prosecuting you for tax evasion. Oh, wait a minute. You came to the notice of the Dirty Trick Squad now because you have assets. You got some big old bank accounts, or you got a business. And they want that money. So, they seized your computers. Well, they have them in evidence. Well, all of a sudden, they're completely disassociated. Doesn't have anything to do with it. Forensic expert, who happens to be a Secret Service agent, does a forensic exam of your computer and finds child porn? Oh. And what are you going to do? Accuse him of planting it? He has nothing to do with your case. You've never met him. He's Secret Service. You have not a leg to stand on. The attorneys won't listen to you because they're in on it. You can't say they planted it because he did. And the lawyers will go along with it. Many people, I'm sorry. And that's what you're up against. And yet, it is them. They did do it, and now it's out. Now what they've done is out. Not only is it out, and they kept it quiet, Bridges got 6 years in prison for what he did do. But there's so much more. He should have gotten 60. So the rest of them. But they all kept it quiet because he controlled the money. They couldn't get into into it. They're not really smart enough, but they didn't really know where it was. He controlled their money. They had to keep him alive at all costs. And he's out, and one of the first things he does when he gets off probation is accesses this giant account that they were watching, and boom, it pops up in San Francisco, where he was actually prosecuted too. He was prosecuted in New York and San Francisco. So,
well, that's actually good because you can't get a damn lawyer in Maryland, so I think that actually worked out well.
Yeah. So, I'd just like to point out that when Bridges and the Dirty Tricks, all stuff came out, when Bridges, went to court, because of his position and because of doing so many favors for people and helping certain people along, and his family's previous connections, Larry Hogan wrote a real nice letter in support of him. He was going to appear at a court, but he just couldn't make it out there, being governor and all, Oh, I'm sorry, Harry Logan. Sorry.
I actually said that today to somebody by accident. I called him Harry Logan. I was like, yeah, I just filed a case against Harry Logan. And I stopped myself and started laughing. It was pretty fun. Continue, sir.
I start thinking, Logan's Run. Tell you how old I am. But, and he had other people. He had other luminaries and politicians, past and present, wrote people on his behalf because he controls their magic money fund. So, and these are the same group of people. Harry Logan is using tax dollars to bump up his portfolio. So, let's move away from this one case. But I would like to speak to Steve Bannon if it's private or whatever. That's fine. Certainly I can provide quite a bit. I am on these cases, which will blow things wide open. That's the Atkinson case and Cheryl Atkinson, and which is one case of exactly what they've done, and that is Bridges planting stuff on her computer to manipulate her for dirty, corrupt officials to keep her quiet. They actually wanted to manipulate her and her husband. And then there's my case, but then there are hundreds of cases, and I can provide this. I provided some, but I can provide the rest, the people who were victimized by this. Then this leads into Sean's buddy, Harry Logan.
That goes to the other buddy, too, huh? The Bod.
Well, Rod, of course. Well, Rod was the boss. He's the one pulling the strings. Mr. Russian collusion, and he controlled all of that. And a lot of this is his as well. I put this on Twitter probably 3 years ago plus, that he had millions and millions of dollars. Rod did online and controlled that stuff. And it's not just that. You have some very big name FBI personnel, someone near the very top, wink, wink, who a portion of that's theirs. This is their dirty retirement fund, completely untraceable, payable anywhere in the world, in any currency. And it didn't just stop in 2015. Even after Bridges was incarcerated, they were pumping money into it. He was working with it while he was in prison, Terre Haute. They were still putting stuff in there. It was growing. This is their retirement fund, and they all want to stay silent about it. And then I'm going to bring it out. I already have. So they can watch all that money disappear in front of their face. But the DOJ can't just take them, claim it's theirs, and sell them. They would be victimizing people further. They'd be selling stolen property, and stolen in the worst way. So I'm willing to work with the DOJ and the judge in San Francisco to stop that and get it back to the rightful owners and to help the children who have been victimized even further by their greed and power hungriness.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there's the call to action there, guys. I mean, we got to get a hold of Bannon in some form or fashion to him to speak with John. Let's set that up.
We have Mr. Bannon, although I have not spoken with him. We have a lot of people in the same circles, so it should be able to get there. I would be happy to speak with him. Because right now they're really concentrating on the, he has to deal with the January 6th Commission, but they're really talking about the whistleblowers. And here I am. And I've been talking about it long before any of this stuff came out. I'm on the record in 2009 and 10 with it, trying to get it out then. It's one reason they stomped on me. Yep. And to cover their crimes and keep their money coming. So they have watched all their stolen money and skimmed money. Oh, there's a $300,000 drug deal in Baltimore. Really, it was $600,000. They just took the cash and bought Bitcoin, gave it to Bridges, and let them wash it through. But they've watched their millions in stolen money become billions, and they want it. So this is a retirement fund. I don't want them to have it. I know you don't. Then you have the other side of things that's still ongoing. Here's Harry Logan, friend of Sean Bridges. You might know who he is.
Maybe.
Staff has prepared his announcement that he's running for Senate if he can get certain things that he wants out of it. And he's pushing, because he's worried that if he announces for Senate with no intention of winning, the idea is that he would control the Republican side, Chris Van Hollen controls the Democrat side, and they control the race. And that would allow Hogan to collect a lot of money, keep his face out there, but ultimately lose so the Democrats still control the seat with Chris Van Hollen. Harry Logan doesn't want to have a loss on his statement when he runs for president, because he's going to. So they are assuring him that if he does this for him, that, one, he can run for president, and whatever the numbers may be, however well he does, the money will be pouring in, he'll have their support. But Pence is going to run as well. Okay. And you probably recognize that name. Yeah, and people know my opinion of him. But he's going to run as well. And if the numbers are not there, because the one thing Harry Logan lacks, he lacks a lot of stuff, but he doesn't really have national recognition. You know, if you show him out in Colorado, people are like, who's that? Yeah. But if the numbers aren't there, if Harry Logan is not competitive for president, he would be Pence's vice president. This is what they're trying to sell him now. They've already worked out stuff, and as long as certain things go that way, that's what he could take his shot. They'll help, but if not, he would come in as vice president for Pence.
It makes me feel like I have to throw up right now.
Yeah. So, everyone is aware of the wonderful work that Alley for Truth and her husband have done on Judge Newell, the judge who killed himself out in Eastern Maryland. And her wonderful videos are up, and you can certainly find them on the Johnheretohelp.info. Yeah, sorry, and they're on YouTube. So the judge killed himself, but yet it's a huge web around him. Now, the judge killed himself because he was abusing boys is a fantastic close friend of Harry Logan.
Ooh, go figure.
Yes, but as you start digging into it, you'll find so far around 20, 23 people that Harry Logan knows personally and has hired and or appointed that have been charged in some fashion, not just rumored, charged and or convicted of the same thing, children, crimes against children.
Right, he couldn't possibly know about any of that.
No. I mean, come on, just because, over half the people you appoint, no. And of course, you're working to run for vice president for, well, everybody knows my opinion of Pence. Weird, huh?
Yeah.
Then, people may recall from a couple shows ago where I was talking about this topic, and I said that there was a mayor down there in Cambridge, Maryland.
Yeah, that guy.
And I call him Mayor Squeaky. The guy squeaks when he talks. He made it a point to take time out of his busy schedule to go up and congratulate the winning team of the boys 8 to 10 year-old baseball team. Well, he popped the woody during the interview. Okay. I didn't mention his name at the time. He's mayor of Cambridge, Maryland. I'm going through this time. And Mayor Squeaky's name is Mayor Andrew Bradshaw.
He's ruining my name.
Of Cambridge, Maryland. I still like Mayor Squeaky.
Yeah.
But this is, his excitement, getting heart nipples and an erection talking to these boys on video. And he's trying to hide it and stand behind another one. That made it look worse. But he's reason I'm mentioning his name now, I said that he's a perv. I wouldn't specify all this stuff. I knew he's under investigation. They got a warrant to search his office, which can't be easy for the police to get a warrant to search the mayor's office. But they got it. After they got the warrant, they did find some stuff, but after that, he went to 2 different locations and destroyed a bunch of stuff. And he was just charged, just like a day ago, with posting nasty revenge porn against the woman he used to date. But wait, there's more.
No way.
Not only do you get the steak knives, we have a Perry knife on the side. No.
Yeah.
There's more. So, he posted this nasty revenge porn to throw people off the scent. Because according to certain unnamed state troopers, they were able to forensically recover quite a bit, and he's into the boys too. He posted this revenge porn to throw people off the scent. And he destroyed a lot. He didn't destroy it entirely. Okay? He should have gone all, bleach bit, drill bit, whatever on it. And, but he didn't. Because Mayor Squeaky is not that bright. He looks like a Dairy Queen dessert. Okay? He's got enough sugar in his tank to make your car diabetic. And there he is. He was just charged. Posting revenge porn. But this was getting ahead of the story because apparently his ex-wife or something is coming out. They're divorced, and she's putting it all out there. So he's trying to get ahead of the story of what's coming. She's going to tell it like it is. So, and yet again, another great friend of Harry Logan, charged with the same thing. People closest to him know what he's like and they're talking about in this same area. Now, this is out in Cambridge, Maryland, Hooper's Island. Okay, when you've got 20, 23 people in the same area appointed and hired by Harry Logan, all guilty of the same stuff, some of them killing themselves. It's kind of a pattern, like the government loves to say, pattern in practice, a little bit of intent. It's like, how odd. And they say, oh, nobody had any clue. One lawyer out there called in or contacted Allie when she was doing the videos and said, it's a poor area. People buy houses. Well, here's the thing. The value of the land out there has been changed. It's cheaper, but it's been bought up by several people through Harry Logan's company. And millions and millions and millions of tax dollars have been shoved into these little island communities to increase property value. Now the houses out there, the median income is like, $48,000? Yet the average house is over $500. Okay. So the property value is going up. His investment's growing. He's shoving money out there for the fishermen, which I like the fishermen, but only in this area. He's going water conservation, COVID, the bridge, the beaches, everything. All this money, your taxpayer money, he's shoving out there to feather his nest egg, his investment. He bought it cheap. They controlled the whole area with his dirty friends, bought it up cheap, forced people out, and then your tax dollars going out there to make him even richer.
Yeah, we're probably going to divert a road off of there, so, it increases the value even more, But not like he ever did that before.
Right. I mean, I'm always notorious for that. They're saying, oh, we're going to put a road in here. There it is. That's what's being talked about. He buys up all the cheap stuff over here, and then, the road changed. Oh, what do you know? And then all his stuff is worth a fortune.
Yeah, he was that. 2019, he was gloating about that in an interview. It's like, oh, I'm the governor, and I made $3 million this year.
Yeah, that was on one deal. He's gotten filthy rich. This is why he's running for president. He says he's a Republican. It's like, yeah, right. He's in it for himself, but he's put aside enough money to be filthy rich, and enough money to run for president, which isn't cheap.
Oh yeah, and he also lacks hair too. So I mean, does that offend you?
Well, so do I.
I'd say that.
Well, some of us can wear it, some of us don't. Yeah. But his lack of hair was from lack of brain activity. Mine was an overabundance of brain activity. I burned mine off.
Just blew it right out of the roots.
That's right. It's like blowing a fuse. But I mean, these are the type of people. I don't care what they call call themselves. These are the type of people that have to get out. We have to get them out, or we'll get even more of it. And he's appointing more and more people. Now, he's going to run for president. He's going to announce for everything else. He just announced 2 brand new jobs. Cybersecurity and data security, something like that. Hired 2 people, big old salary, never before existed positions in Maryland. To control all the publicity, all the news, everything like that, to make him look squeaky clean.
This is being recorded, Harry Logan.
Yeah, well, he records everything else.
Yeah.
He records attorney-client privilege conversations.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
because he wanted a conviction.
They're going to try to cancel this, too. I mean, I'm already suppressed on Twitter, 100%, I've been told. That people have to actually search for my post because, you know, I know you. Thanks, John. But
Oh, yes. I am the herpes of social media. So, yes.
yeah, we're not going to let this die, though. We're going to keep spreading this around, make sure everybody sees it. We're going to do sticker brigade. We're doing it all. Time to get Maryland back.
I want to work with everyone because Maryland is for everyone. We all live here. I don't intend to, I'm running Republican, but I'm not going to get in there. It's like, we won. It's all me. And then, screw everybody else. I'm not doing that. It's like, I have Democrats in my family. I had the Democrats in my family who held office. And a lot of people have their families divided on issues. But I want to work with, say, the classic Democrat, the one that believes in, education, jobs, opportunity, country. Great, let's work together. We have to, because this new class of hate everybody, hate yourself, destroy everything, and get what you can is garbage, and it's killing us, and it's destroying everything. And we can't let them do that, so work with me. You want Chris Van Hollen staying there just because he got a D in his name? Here's another D for him, dumbass. Okay. So he doesn't do anything. During COVID, did he have any kind of leadership to help people at all? No.
Talk about
It was all about him. One-on-one. So, work with me. It's for Maryland. Right now, we need some balance. We have Ben Cardin in there, Democrat, get a Republican in there. Somebody will tell you what's going on for real. So you know, that's me. But I'll work with you because it's the same as working with people in my family. It's like, you don't have to like this, don't have to like that, but we need some common ground. We got to work together because we're going downhill quick. And we won't survive. And like I mentioned before, it's like, if these destroy everything, hate everybody, take what you can get out of it, barely disguised socialist Democrats can get the majority, it's gone. If they can take over the majority of everything in 2022, they'll start changing the Constitution. It's gone. You have no more tools to fight back. There will be no more constitutional protection where you can refuse a vaccine. It's gone. You have no more firearms. You have no more right to talk. Nothing. Free speech, gone. They'll change it to whatever they want. And if that's not good enough, they'll change it again after that, because they will. And the first thing they'll change is change it to keep themselves in power. So if you let it happen, as bad as it is now, it's getting worse.
Amen. That's why we gotta definitely step up. I should text this person back. That chick from Washington Post just texted me. I should text her a link of the show. I'll send it to her later. It's kind of funny. Sorry to go off topic there. Yeah, it was somebody from...
Are you going to edit that?
I don't know. She said the story's published when she talked to us earlier, so... I don't know. She keeps texting me.
Oh, that's great.
Hey,
Yes,
I hope it's not a hit piece.
You got interviewed by some great people earlier. That's really good.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Hopefully.
Yeah, I was walking through a dollar store looking for a white sock for tonight. So we prepare in our different ways.
Oh, shit, man. I got a black sock on. I could probably pull it off if that helps.
There you go. Well, diversity is a good thing. There you go. So, but I need to work together. I mean, working together with the classic Democrat is not bad. It's not hard for me. It's like talking to my cousin or something, because they are.
Yeah.
So it's easy for me to work with them as long as we have the common goal of helping the people and helping Maryland. Help Maryland protect the people and set an example for the country. It's pretty simple, but they don't do it. It all becomes about them. About them. Oh, I won the election. I get a prize. They don't. It's a job. Do it. But they don't. Van Hollen's done nothing. And now we have Van Hollen and Logan, trying to control the election just to keep him in power.
Yep.
Do you want Hogan? You're in Maryland. Do you want anybody out there want Hogan as vice president or president?
If anybody says yes in the chat, I'll ban you.
But that's what they're doing. They're trying to control it entirely. And, they can't do as much fraud as they did because they're so obvious and people know. So then they just control the candidates. That way, whoever the votes end up for, they control it both ways. The new fraud, control the candidates entirely. You don't have to worry about the mail-in votes and the phony ballots and all this stuff now. We can't do that trick again. People are on to us. We'll do it a little bit, but we can't do it entirely, so we'll just control who gets to run. Whoever you pick, we win because we own them. And that's what they're doing now. So good old Harry Logan he's up there and they're offering him all kinds of stuff. Money pouring in, support pouring in. And they want him to help control the Senate race. So they want that seat.
Yeah, I'm praying for a debate. Even, like I said, I think I said this in the last show or something, but even if you don't debate them face to face, I'm sure we can come up with like a cardboard cutout and we can set up a podium over there. So, because they would have nothing to say to you anyway if you brought up what you could. So, we just put a cardboard cutout there. Maybe we should set this up. We'll do this on the show maybe next time. We'll do a debate, a mock debate with Chris Van Hollen. I think that's a good idea.
Jeez. That'd be great. Just put one on each side of me. It'll look like a cornhole match. Just two blanks with their mouth wide open saying nothing. That's what they do normally.
I took that a different way.
Yeah, well, okay. Everybody knows they sent me to jail. The first time I ever heard about cornhole was in prison. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And get away from me. I did not know it was a sport. I'd never heard of it before. I thought a cornhole match is like, I'm going to be locked down before it's dark. I can tell you that right now. I thought it was something bad. So.
Well, it still could be something bad. But I think they made the professional sport now just to confuse people.
That's code. More code.
Hey, you want to come into my house for a cornhole tonight, John?
Yeah, that's like the new version, Netflix and chill.
I just got some new sacks.
you want Netflix and chill? It's like, I don't have cable. Got you. It's ridiculous. I'm old enough that others want to come up to my apartment and see my etchings. It's a joke, and it's a joke that nobody's laughing at anymore because we're paying the price. You go out, and I was in one today. I was in a Food Lion. I had not been in years. I haven't been over there in a long time, but I haven't been out there in probably 6 years outside, and it's closing down. They were closing the refrigerator section, so those people in that particular part of the city are going to suffer. And can't afford it anyway. They were having a buy one and then marked over buy two, get one free sale just to clear it out. They're closing down. They want us all in the house, dependent, no job, take the little bit of money from the government. It's not worth much anyway. We printed it yesterday. Mm-hmm. And, barely survive. But that's all you have, so you'll have to do what we say. And that's what they want. They're not paying for gas. And, they're out there with these speeches, and they're garbage. They're not paying their bills. They're not even paying for food. They're eating on taxpayer every day anyhow. Gas, same thing. Yep. Their entire paycheck can go to, like, their cable bill, their personal car, and right into their retirement fund. It's like, can you do that? No.
Nope.
But they are. Which is why they keep it going. It's to destroy everything and have your hand out and catch the pieces as they fall.
Yep, so, even the ones who aren't actively doing anything, they're just, okay, I know about it, pay me to shut up.
Yeah, well, there's example, because it's being worked on now and about to be released, is there are a lot of people in government there are two people in particular, FBI agents, who are guardians of a certain laptop, shall we say. Okay. You got one guy who's a little more senior, and he used to be quite the Boy Scout. Protect the kids, do whatever it took it seriously, and damn it, more power to him, because I couldn't do that job. I would get freaking furious and just want the people dead. That stuff infuriates me. But he could do it and did it professionally. But he got bent so much because the higher-ups protecting this person, protecting that person, and forcing him, ordering him to look the other way. And it's really taken a lot of it out of him. Although he's a good guy, he's a real Boy Scout at the beginning. But having been manipulated so much by the higher-ups to protect family and politicos, things like this, it's taken a lot out of him. So he's not being able to help as many people as he could. Now you have the other guy working with him, a little younger. He's gone a different direction, which I see this a lot. They know things are bad. They know these people abuse children. They do this. They commit crimes. And there's nothing they can do about it. All they can do is keep their head down and protect their own. They will go full Rambo in a hot second if someone were to even look in the direction of their children. But they'll protect theirs and let yours go to hell. Let your children be victimized, or any children. Just don't look at me. That's how they go. They go that direction. I can't help everybody, so I'm going to protect mine. Don't dare come near me, and don't care what happens to anybody else.
Yeah, that's so many of the conversations that I've had with a lot of people recently going out to these different events, is that people feel powerless. I would say the majority of people feel powerless. They want to do something, but they don't feel they can fight City Hall. I mean, I've had it, said to my face several times. It's like, what are you going to fight City Hall? And I say, fuck yeah. I might lose, but I'm going to try. And if you stand up behind me and somebody else stands up behind me, then we can get this shit done. But people are just taking the easy way out. It's all about self-preservation. And Tori says that all the time. It's one of the ugliest human qualities or traits that a person can have. You just got to give our lives to God.
It's been around a long time. The most disgusting thing in the world is a little man afraid for his job, that type of thing. It's been around a long time. And it's like, there were some great people, like I said, at the meeting Sunday. Great people. Nobody cared where you were from, how you were dressed, what color you were, how much money you had. They were there to protect children, basically. They were there about mask mandates, vaccines, things like that. And they were there to help people, and nobody gave a crap where you were from, and it was great.
It was really great.
I met some really good people.
Yeah, especially with Kyle there, too. Like, he texted me beforehand. Kyle Sefchick for governor, by the way. I'll put my little bit in there. But he texted me before. He's like, what's the dress code? I was like, come as you are. That's what I do, man. He's like, okay. And he did. And he came as what he does, and, very comfortable. And that was such a great environment of people.
I wasn't there. It wasn't about me. I'm not coming in a suit with an entourage. As I came just comfortable. I wanted to talk to people, blend in, just talk, just us. And if I had one complaint about the meeting on Sunday, it would be they had a doctor, a very nice lady, brought all the snacks and set up like a snack table and things like that. Please don't have a naturopathic doctor set up the snack table. You get rice cakes and power bars, and everything's healthy.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not expecting bacon sliders, okay, but rice cakes, come on.
Yeah, I didn't even touch any of that. I just went straight for the lemonade. I was like, okay, maybe later. That was way too late for me to eat. I could eat once a day, but I didn't touch any of it. But I was just like, whatever looked at it, I was like, wow. This is like being back in California or something. This is terrible. Who set this up? Naturopathic doctor. She was so sweet, but it's just, wow. No, we don't want that. We want somebody that owns like a pizza franchise or something. Hell
That's
yeah.
what we want.
Want some barbecue chips.
something crunchy so I can drown out some of the speakers. But they were real nice. They got up and talked. Went well, and I'm looking forward to other events. And of course, we have the famous picture now.
Yeah, it's right there. Everybody's looking at it now.
Well, they had very harsh lighting in there. I have much more hair than that makes me look. It's just I have very fine Trump hair, so the light kind of bleached it out. There you go. But
well, it's good. It's good that you wiped the sweat off before the picture, because I mean, it would have really glistened off the light there if you didn't do that.
You can see it from space. It's like three things you can see from space: Great Wall of China, the Luxor in Vegas, and my head. Looks like you can cook French fries on my head, which if that was possible, would be great. But yeah, it didn't help much. But it was a nice event. You get to meet some nice people. So, but I look forward to many more. But we need to get these people out of here. I mean, how many? If you're a government official, say Larry Hogan, and you appoint 100 people, there's going to be a couple idiots in there. Okay, there are a lot of people out there listening have a small business. You could have 10 employees, and you're going to have an idiot somewhere. It's going to be a human. But when you're appointing people, especially when you're appointing people all concentrated in one area, and they're all guilty of the same thing, not just rumors, charges, convictions. Please, video evidence. Okay, there's something going on. There's something wrong. And if you want to stand there and say, I have nothing to do with it, because there's a whole lot of rumors floating around him, but if you want to say, I have nothing to do with it, I have no knowledge of it. If you're just that piss poor at hiring and appointing people, do you really think you should be president?
No.
Yeah. So if this is just your bad luck, the people lied to you, and you just didn't know, then you shouldn't be out there appointing people.
Yeah, absolutely. And if anybody says yes in the chat, again, I will ban you.
I don't like banning. I have no problem with questions or questions or other opinions or anything like that, because opinions are good. We can talk about them. Yeah. It's when people have an opinion, and then there's like, if you don't do, you take my opinion, I'm right. If you're not, I'll kill you, I'll hurt you. That's wrong.
Yeah.
So, but I absolutely see myself as a Republican, I guess. I was actually going to run a type of independent, but you cannot primary in Maryland as independent. So ran Republican, and I work with them. I have no problem working with them, because this is for all of us. It's not just for us, for the kids, for the future, for everything. And we're being screwed daily. And you can already see the groundwork being laid. I mean, why did the P resident come in and talk to Larry Hogan about the Port of Baltimore? It's like you got crap on one side and a big old pile of shit on the other side. And you got these ships offshore that just can't seem to come in. Why? Did you forget how? Okay. You don't know how to guide it in, or something like this. It's crap. They're sitting out there. Prices are going up. Shortages are happening, and we are paying for it. Like I've said, we're subsidizing many of these companies to offset the cost of their ships sitting there. The companies want to move them. They want their products off the ship. They're getting old. They're getting stale. They're getting outdated. Holidays are coming. They got stuff sitting out there for Halloween. They're losing money, and they're complaining, but the government wants it. So they're subsidizing. They're paying them to sit out there while we pay more for what we do get. And then they go in, and here's Larry Hogan. Wants to run for Senate maybe, but he definitely wants a presidential run. And the P resident just happens to come up to Baltimore to talk about, Baltimore's ports could solve this crisis. Oh, really? Well, he's gone. Did you turn it on? Did you say, come on in? Did you turn the longshoremen loose? They know what to do. No, he didn't do crap. It's just laying the groundwork for a presidential run.
Yep. Oh, man, there was a speaker at the church militant thing I went to earlier. He said, we got a poopy pants for president. He said it like 5 times. Everybody's cracking up. It's so great.
It's sad, but we do. We have poopy pants for president. I mean, when he fills up the diaper, then you get the same effect on either end. I mean, it's crap on either end. Smells the same and it's about as effective.
Way to draw that comparison. That was good.
Yeah. I mean, at least when he craps himself, then there's some balance in the administration.
Yeah.
It's just, oh, it's ridiculous. And then they're arguing back and forth about their poll numbers. We have the vice president. The vice president. And there's like, just sitting out there complaining endlessly. I never wanted to be put in charge of the southern border. Tough.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay because you don't go anyway. And then you have, I wanted a larger role in the Afghanistan. Well, yeah, you wanted something on the history books with your name attached to it, other than chlamydia, see Kamala. Okay. So, you know, they just want to build their name up. That's all they want. They want their little legacy. That's like when I finally get to go home, I hope I've helped every person I possibly could until I get there. When I finally get to lay down and go home and see everyone and meet my Lord again, and I want my headstone to say, it's your turn.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you standing here? It's your turn. Go help people. It's like, don't remember me. Don't think about anything I did. It's done. You got to do it. Go. Get the hell out of here. So I'm not trying to build a legacy.
Well,
it's ridiculous.
It's people like you that are inspirational for everyone. I mean, that's the whole reason. Don't start singing now.
No.
Well, that's why I started the podcast in the first place, because you got banned from Twitter. So I was like, holy shit, this guy's been throwing out truth, so we got to prop him up. We got to do something for him. So you've been an inspiration to me, as you can tell by the picture, with my arm gently touching your shoulder.
Oh, your arm? Oh,
yeah.
Then I want my phone number back. Yeah. But it's great. No, I appreciate everything you're doing. It's great. We get to talk to people. We can have a little bit of fun, but we're talking about horrible crimes. We're talking about horrible violations of people's rights. So we have to have a little bit of fun. We're going to go nuts. These idiots never stop. It's all they do. What can they get out of it? And how can they destroy the country? We got to get people in there. And that's why I ran. It's like I've not run for office before. I've helped people, Democrat and Republican. I've helped on campaigns, different levels. But I've never run before. But it's very clear that somebody has to get in there and do it. And somebody's not afraid of them. I'm not impressed or intimidated by any of them. So your imaginary power that you think you've accumulated is gone. It doesn't matter. And I'm not impressed by it. It's like you could be out of work tomorrow.
Yep.
And it's that simple. So don't think I'm intimidated by it. I'm not. I've had people online say, that fat bastard. It's like, do I look fat? Do I look like a wimp? Do I look like a nerd? It's like, had I not been the size I am, I'm not a small person. I'm very wide. But had I not been the size I am, I wouldn't have survived half the crap I've been through.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, just look at the size of those hands right there. You could, like, it's pretty intimidating. He's got a tough grip, too. Well, you know, somebody actually said yesterday that I didn't realize John was so young. They thought I was you. And I was like, wait a minute.
They know I'm bald. How would they possibly think you were me?
I don't know.
You and your brother are both very tall, so it's like being home for the holidays. I'm just slightly over 6 foot. I'm just 6 foot. I'm the smallest one in my family. Everybody else is way over 6. We even have 7+ footers in my family. But I'm the little one. They used to come over to holidays and stand around me and say, you're going bald. Mm-hmm. Look down at my head. Say, ha, ha, ha. So, but I look young. I've had a clean life, clean living.
Not me. I'm drinking a beer right now. Cheers.
No, I don't drink. I've never drank. You grow up with some very extremely hyper abusive alcoholics. You learn to associate the smell with the violence, so you don't drink.
Yeah.
And never smoked. And tell you why I never smoked? I loved my hair. I had really dark red hair and lots of it, and it made my hair stink.
You were a ginger?
So,
really?
Oh, yeah. I had really dark hair. Dark red hair.
Wow.
Yeah, but I had the dark red hair. I don't really have any freckles or anything like that. I'm not like that.
Oh, fine. You're not like that. I get it.
Well, I didn't have like the orange hair. So
Yeah.
I don't have any now, so now I'm up to a carton a day. I don't have any hair now to worry about. Yeah, I used to have a lot of hair.
Wow. I never would have.
Made him mad somewhere.
Yeah, I wouldn't have pegged you for a ginger. We're a dying breed, man. Maybe that's why we get along.
Actually,
so
it is
much.
dying out. It's a genetic anomaly, the red hair and the orange hair. And it's, people are from basically one part of the world, and people are intermarrying, things like that, and traveling around and not staying local anymore, so it's dying out. Red hair is dying out.
When's it going to happen? 2032? Is that when we're going to be extinct?
Like a date or something?
Yeah. Yeah. We're going to hold you to a date when redheads will cease to exist.
Okay. I'll have to work up the numbers. But
just look at the Q clock, man. It's probably right behind you. It'll tell you everything you need to know.
No, never follow Q. Still don't know anything about it. But Philly Q does amazing work. Very kindly, he actually works with my stuff now, but I still don't know much about Q.
Me neither. That's like way over my head. I mean, I've seen some of the posts, but I've never gone through like the boards on 8chan. I've never even gotten on 8chan, so I have really no idea how any of that works. But I've seen some of the posts, and they sound good. They sound inspirational for a lot of things, and that'd be awesome if most of the stuff worked out that way. But maybe the only way it works out that way is if we do it. I got something in my mustache there. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, it was a nice little segue into that. But yeah, let's talk.
But
We're done talking about. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, well, campaign-wise, I did have some wonderful people. People have contributed. Thank you very much. I know it is not easy now, so that's very helpful. We were very careful with it. I've had people send resumes. It's very impressive resumes, and offer to help or volunteer. That's fantastic. We are going through them. I got them. Don't worry. And we do need the help, so it'd be fantastic. Come on. We even had a gentleman who was sent his email, and he was a former Trump appointee, Department of Commerce. So that's fantastic.
All right.
So we are getting there. It's a slower start, but that's fine. We just continuously build momentum. But we do need help, do need support, and we are getting there. We're setting up more events and more specific events, and then me-only events, I guess, or me and other candidates who are working together. Yeah, I don't mean me-only events like me at the bus stop. You know? Got to pay for bus fare somehow. But I mean, like speaking engagements, things like that.
Yeah.
Those rice cake dinners aren't free, so we have to.
Shit, man, we'll do a potluck and everybody will bring something. Like, that's the kind of support we need for you in your campaign. Everybody, like, I'm working on something right now. You would not believe. I talked to a dude named Mike Tyson. And
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's not, he wasn't talking like this or nothing. But he did say that he's got a guy. You know, everybody's got a guy. He's got a guy that makes T-shirts and stuff like that. So I was supposed to get a call today, didn't, but maybe tomorrow. So we got to get the merch store.
I got a guy.
Yeah. He's like,
I got a guy that can get you all the T-shirts you want. They're all extra small.
Yeah, I got this guy. You know, I bit his ear off, but he makes T-shirts, and maybe he could help you. But
I've been to a lot lot of potlucks, and like I do work with the Amish community and stuff. They bring good stuff, but potlucks are always great because you got a handful of people that really put in the effort to impress everybody. Those are fantastic. You got most people like they throw it together. This is crap we eat every day, and then there's always one person that doesn't have any time. They bring KFC. Yeah. So.
Well, don't forget the fruitcake. Somebody's got to bring a fruitcake that nobody eats.
Oh, I'm sorry. The mayor out there of Cambridge is far too busy to attend. So.
Oh, that was good. But yeah, guys, we can, if anybody's in the audience or watching this video later, if you're good with designs, I mean, I know we've got a bunch of stuff that's been circulating around Twitter with the Win Big, Vote Pig, like images. Like, we got to direct people to the campaign website, have those conversations, throw some stickers on some stuff, so there's little innuendos. But get people thinking and paying attention to what's going on. Because, I mean, this has to come out. I mean, the truth, nothing stops the truth. You can put it in a box, you can stomp on it, you can set it on fire, but it's always there. And that's exactly what John has. So we definitely need to put this on blast. So again, share this video, share any video that John's involved with.
Mr. Bannon.
Don't share all the videos. But yeah, so
leave out the 80s. Leave out the videos from the 80s.
But please go to McGreevey. Please go to McGreeveyforsenate.org. And the email address is on there, and that's McGreeveyforsenate@gmail, right?
Yes.
Yeah, McGreeveyforsenate@gmail.
It does work. Some people said that that's the first stop, of course. Then you get, depending on who it is and how it progresses, then there's other emails you provided. But it does work. I had a couple people say it wasn't going through, and it is working.
Okay.
And I can tell you that the powers that be have once again tried to surveil and attack the phone. They tried to get in. And it's funny because I had a couple friends, we've set up some encrypted and unencrypted sexy talk, some sexy emails, or not emails, sexy texts. And a lot of them were just grabbed offline. But we put them on there, and they took the bait. They were like, ooh, we got him now. I was like, yeah, you dumbass, go ahead. So I know how to play the game, too. It's like we're all fighting each other with the same software back and forth. The software I have on my phone is from Secret Service. Hear that, guys? I didn't know where it went. But, so...
Yeah.
But yeah, we set it up, and they did get in. They did try to get in again. They are doing their surveillance stuff, because there's a lot more going on than I can talk about. I'm involved in 2 more cases.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, well, I've had suspicions of stuff happening with my stuff, too. Like, even I had to restart my computer like 3 times before we went live tonight because my computer was drunk. And I swear it wasn't me. Like, everything, as soon as you moved the mouse was just moving back and forth, like shimmying. I was like, I've never seen this happen to a computer before, so... Yeah.
They're trying.
Wouldn't be
they're trying to get in.
Well, hopefully they're watching this video right now. We welcome the infiltrators in. Learn something.
Well, I had a couple of provocatively named folders on my phone, just in case they got in. Mostly rectum pics.
Ooh.
So, but just by the names on some of them, I know they would find them. So I hope they downloaded those and enjoyed blowing those up real big. So, I knew they'd get it eventually. So, yeah.
Clever as always.
Label them Rod bank account, and then they get those quick. Open that file, I dare you. But yeah, we've had this stuff on there for over a year because people have tried to get in, and eventually I knew that somebody would get in. They go for the most provocative stuff, so we had it ready for them.
That's hilarious. Somebody in the chat, Sam, said you should do a comedy show fundraiser. And you used to be a comedian, so this could work out pretty well. I think that's a great idea.
It's certainly possible. I do enjoy doing it. And people need a laugh because look anywhere, and the people just lie into your face and expect you to believe it. And, and don't care if you do or not. That's how bad it is. They're not even trying to hide it anymore.
Yeah.
They used to double talk and try to hide it, and you're like, well, you don't know. Maybe. Right now it's just blatant, and they don't care. So I do like comedy. Comedy's always been interesting to me. But way back when I was very, very young, my oldest brother, who's no longer with us, like I say, he was massively talented in every way. And he did theater and commercials and all this stuff. And I had an opportunity to be in the theater and have like 2 lines with him. But I always remember those because it was only a couple of words. But he's no longer here, so that was pretty cool. So yeah, I do like talking to people and meeting them and get everybody to relax and have a good time and try to get a message out while I was doing it. When I did stand up, I would put stuff in about like a sermon, things like that. I wanted you to laugh. I wanted you to think about things. And the humor really got the message in, and you could listen to it, you could hear it, and you were thinking about it on the way home. That's what I wanted. It wasn't just a laugh that you forgot about a minute later.
Yeah, that's why I think about you all the time.
Oh, great, thanks.
You just make me laugh, John.
It's okay. Didn't want to sleep tonight anyway. That's fine.
Yeah, that's a great idea, though. But another reason, perfect to, that's another good idea by Sam, to maybe do like an online comedy, stand-up comedy with an in-person thing, just to reach a larger audience. Great idea. Like,
if it's online, do I have to stand up the whole time we want to?
I don't think you have to wear pants legally. That's not required when you're on a Zoom meeting. So as long as you have a shirt on, I think we'll be comfortable with you.
Oh yeah, you don't want to Zoom me? I'll go full tubing in a second. Oh yeah. I'm gonna have a box of tissues and a gallon-sized mayonnaise sitting right there. We're doing this.
Oh yeah, or we need like a slip and slide too. That would be good with the mayonnaise.
Oh, that's horrible.
Well, you gotta support the athletes too, man. Show them what you're made of.
I don't want to be an athletic supporter.
John the Jockstrap McGreevey.
Pulling up Maryland by the straps. Yes. Terrible. I do support athletes, especially like amateur and local, because they work very, very hard. They're very dedicated at it. But professional stuff is like, come on. I don't follow sports, so I don't talk about it hardly at all because I just don't know about it. But be grateful for what you have, for the opportunities that the state, country has provided. Yeah. Because if you weren't doing that, they've had a lot of people go to professional sports doing great, and something happens, hopefully not an injury, but they're out of it, and their life turns to crap. So, try to be a little grateful for what you have and the opportunities afforded to you. So,
yeah, and
I don't do much in sports.
Yeah, and segueing back into the campaign for like people posting ideas in the chat right now. Like, this is awesome. Bring these ideas to the campaign. Send that email to McGreevey for Senate at Gmail. Just even if you can't volunteer your time or financially it's just not working out right now, it's just submit an idea, because somebody can just take that and run with it. You see what we just did there? We're gonna have a mayonnaise slip and slide online with full tubing John the Jockstrap McGreevey. So we can take some ideas and run with it.
Oh, that's horrible. Oh, that's horrible.
You would get a lot of views, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. The scary part is how do you top it the next time?
Yeah, that's got to be the finale. We'll wait till after you get elected to do it.
that's all
Yeah,
right.
let's end the show.
For the longest time, I could not eat mayonnaise just because of the smell. It was very sensitive. I didn't have much of a sense of smell for years. And the only thing I really eat is like a tuna salad or something. And I just don't eat it. And just sliding around in it. That's horrendous. I've been through some crap in my life. That just sounds horrible.
Oh man, yeah, mayonnaise is not my favorite either, unless it's on a
Now, if you happen to be down around Cambridge, Maryland, they call that an average Tuesday. So just ask the mayor.
Taco Tuesdays with mayonnaise.
It's a Mayo Tuesdays. But terrible.
All right, I don't know. Where do we go from here? It's just like
leave on a high note. That's right.
We gotta just like hit the end button. We can't keep going on like
It's
this.
like a timer so we can wind it up because it'll get there. But there are different issues that I want to address. I can address. I mean, back to Larry Hogan here.
Yeah.
It's like the violence in Baltimore is horrendous. And of course, people throughout Maryland are getting hurt too, but the violence in Baltimore, murder. And all he does is, the mayor is responsible. The mayor has to get it under control. He's passing the buck. He doesn't do anything. If he were president, you know what he'd do? Violence in the cities? Well, the governor's got to step forward and do something. He does nothing except talk and enrich himself and take care of his friends and cover their tracks. So this is not someone you want running for anything. He's totally ruined everything. Half of Maryland wants to leave. So, great job. But we need to support the police, our first responders, our medical people, to help everyone. We need vaccine protections so that if you don't want it, you cannot be prosecuted. It's horrible to even have to say this. It shouldn't even be said. It shouldn't be needed to be said. But we need to protect our military and our police, our first responders. So if you don't want the vaccine, you cannot lose your job. You will not be prosecuted, anything like that. And that's got to be first. It's got to be elected. I will get legislation out there first thing to protect the people who do not want the vaccine and shouldn't have to do it. That's how horrible things have gotten, and they're only getting worse daily. But that's one of the first things I'm working on. Protection for those people. So, don't want it.
I actually just talked to a first responder the other day, and they were talking about how backed up ambulances are. There's a guy who laid, I believe, or the football player, I can't remember where it was. He was on the field, laying on the field 25 minutes before an ambulance could arrive because they're so backed up. He ended up dying. He's not able to get the treatment because there's not enough first responders because they're either quitting or getting fired because of these mandates. It's absolutely insane. And that's another thing that we're trying to do as a state is that writ of mandamus, and I've talked with you about that as well, and I did a whole show on that, is to order the court to have the governor and Maryland General Assembly stand up for their oath to office and stop these unconstitutional mandates. Because it's not just hurting the people that are being mandated for it, it's hurting the entire community, the entire state, and the nation. And this shit's got to stop.
Yeah, it has to. That's why I'm running. I mean, it's switched entirely the other way, and now every day is hurt people, control people, scare them, terrify. I see them at the hospital all the time. People are terrified. Like I said, they'll come in the hospital, demand a COVID test, and they're fine. And so many people are so, I mean, they're there so often that they don't even give them a real test. They just got to do a swab thing. They're like, you're fine, leave, just to get them out of there. But then they'll go on a bus. They'll go here. It's like, I know I got it now. I can't smell. And they come back, and they're just staying there. Hospitals are packed because they're terrified of what's out there. I saw a lady in that dollar store who was freaking out because somebody was less than 6 feet from her.
Wow.
And she couldn't take it. She freaked out. She had to leave because the woman would not back up. So she just left her stuff and left. And they're just terrified. And it doesn't mean they're stupid, they're ignorant. I mean, they've been lied to so much. They just don't know what to believe, and they're terrified. They think the very air is poisonous, and they're just going to die if they go out. And they're terrified, and that's not the way the country should be. And it's being done on purpose for personal power and money.
Yep, yeah. Well, I mean, everybody sees videos and screenshots or whatever of all the people, these elected officials, just completely defying all the mandates that they're putting out. It's like, oh, you got to wear a mask here, wear a mask that here. Oh, then somebody is standing outside the restaurant, like they did with Gavin Newsom. It's like, oh, we're having a dinner party with 15 people and nobody's wearing a mask. And there was a person on Sunday at that event saying that, oh no, this was, yeah, I mean, it might have been Sunday or Saturday, I can't remember, but they watched the high school jazz band play, and the woodwinds and the brass, they had holes cut in the center of their mouth for their mouthpiece. It's like, does anybody think critically anymore? It's like, how is that helping anything? You're blowing it through the mask, there's no mask there, and it's coming out the instrument. So, like, what good is the other 90% of the mask on somebody's face? Even if the mask works, you know.
Masks for musicians now. It's not just like a paper one. They actually have musicians' masks so that there's a slit in the front that will open for the reed or whatever you're playing, and then mouthpiece, and then it will close when you withdraw the instrument. And they're being required. I know a very talented young lady who's a oboist, and I hope I got that right. Might be a bassoon. Oh, she's gonna be mad. But extremely talented. Was in the Army band actually, but she has to wear the mask just for practice and everything like that. And they have specific masks they want you to wear. So, yeah, it's getting nuts, and people are scared of it.
Yeah, I just met.
They're being terrified on purpose.
I met Emily Scala. You might have seen a report on her. She was in the BSO, and she lost her seat in the BSO because she wouldn't conform to the mandates. Absolutely crazy.
Yeah, and then they do not care because they know that that's going to happen. That's why they're doing it. The government's like, oh, it won't affect people a certain size, businesses a certain size, but then they force others to comply with like OSHA, things like that. They know exactly what they're doing. And you see them on the way out. You see them, they're standing over here on the left or right, just talking in a group, no mask. And then they step over, put the mask on, walk out, and take it off, and do their speech. It's like, aren't you clever? And people see that, they're still terrified. Then they rationalize it, well, they're vaccinated or something like that. And you're being played. You know, does COVID exist? Certainly. And it has affected people, but it's not what they're saying it is. And the vaccine is causing more problems.
Yep.
So, like the sandwich analogy I did, is like, why take the chance? Why can't you just wait a little bit? I mean, if you waited a few months, you're going to have, in this 6-month time period, you're going to have 3 more vaccines and 20 boosters that you could possibly take. So, why don't you wait and get a bigger variety to pick from? So, it's stupid.
Yep.
They don't want to give up the power and the authority that this gives them, this emergency. They want to keep that going forever in one form or another. Until, at least until 2022, if they can get 2/3 or afterwards. As long as they can get it keep going, they will. And we have to stop that. We have to fight everything. We have to fight everything, but we can't do that from down here. We got to get people in there.
Yep, absolutely.
And that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah, and yeah, I think we mentioned it last show. Some people that you support. We got Tim Fazenbaker running District 2 for the House against Dutch, who's out of touch with some things and in touch with others. And yes. And so Tim Fazenbaker, he's a patriot running. Kyle Sefcik running for governor, unaffiliated. because he's really honed in on being the people's voice, small business owner. Or anybody should go check out their campaign websites to find out a little more about them and see how you can support. But mainly, this guy on the other end of the phone here absolutely needs the support. We need to band together, and like I said, throw an email at the campaign if you got some extra time, weekends, whatever. We gotta get the message out there.
Well, we got Tim. Tim's a great guy, and I haven't met him yet. I've talked to him, and he's earned everything he's got, and he wants to work for Maryland. And then you got Kyle, who I got to meet Sunday. Super nice guy. He's fought for everything he's got, and he wants to fight for Maryland now. So these are great people to have in there.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll find some more candidates too. We just have to. Everybody has to do their due diligence now that we're all paying attention and start speaking to these candidates, vetting them. It's a lot easier with John because he can get out here and do these interviews so you can hear it. And soon enough, I'll have Kyle and Tim on the show as well, so we can keep multiplying, because we are the majority, even though it doesn't seem like it for a lot of people. But our votes have been stifled, they've been stolen, and our voices have absolutely been censored. But we are the majority, and we can win this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, we can do it. I mean, there are tricks that they used 2020, and so they're not going to work. So they're trying something else, and we just can't let them do any of that. We can do it. We have the right people. People support. Marylanders have a good head on their shoulders. I don't care if it's Democrat, Republican, whatever, as long as you don't want these new nutty ones. But we can do it. And Maryland has put aside differences to elect the person who was right for the job at the right time, regardless of what they have behind their name. And that's what we need now. And we can do that.
Yep, absolutely. I think we'll end it there. We'll do our outro song, like always. Like Tori's example of a model of a podcast, which is awesome. That's why.
Oh, Tori's kicking ass. She's doing amazing work.
Hell yeah, she's really doing it. And also, we had the call to action for anybody that wasn't looking before. We got to get in touch with Bannon. We got to hook him and John up. So.
Yeah, you want a whistleblower? So I said my lips are chapped, blowing the same whistle for years. Maybe now is the time to, do it again, just one more time, and it'll get noticed. It'll get public.
Yep.
So I mean, it's just I talked about it for years, and just a few months ago, the FBI admitted that they can get into people's computers and place whatever they want, including child porn images. They just admitted it just a few months ago, even though I'm on the record years ago with it. So it has come out. It's there. It's not a big story. It's not this. It's not a LARP. It's real. It's there. They've admitted it. And the people are guilty of it, and there are victims of it, and we need to fix that and prevent it from being done to you.
Yep. Let's get cracking. And everybody needs to really decide on the kind of America that you want to live in, because it's up to you to make that difference. And thank you everyone for coming out. John, thank you for coming on again. This is the way we got to do it for now until we go mainstream.
Nice. Well, I appreciate everyone's time listening, and everyone being here, and especially you for set everything up and give me the voice that was taken away before with Twitter. So
absolutely.
Twitter shall not be named. Yes.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. I'll upload this to Rumble, and anybody can spread that link around so you can catch up. All right. Good night, guys.
Lately, USA is getting scarier. Half of the Americans I see all hate America. They hate the cops doing their best to take care of us and kneel for the flag and salt the soldiers that we're burying. I'm tired of the pissing and complaining. Why you living in America if all you do is hate it? You think it's brave to take a stand against the nation. Real bravery is dying for the right so you can say it. Dear America, what happened to Americans? Apparently no one's aware or cares that it's embarrassing. It's arrogance. Our greatest enemy was always slavery and terrorists, and now it's people in the country trying to burn the heritage. I can't help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't Republicans or liberals, it's mental illness. The internet is only interested in left opinions. Cancel culture's got more power lately than the First Amendment. If you don't like it, leave. We will not defund police. We don't want no riots in our neighborhoods or in the streets. We respect freedom of speech. We protect what we believe. We don't want nobody dead, so please do not tread on me. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, you say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America, does anybody know what the hell happened to the Patriots? Lately this nation is so ashamed and hating itself. Did everyone forget that people died to pay for this? Ungratefulness, United States gave everything to you just to help. I just want to celebrate Thanksgiving with my family. I don't need your help to understand it was a tragedy. Can I just be thankful for my country eating happily without you trying to guilt me for the genocide and casualties? I can't help it, I just seem to see the world different. It ain't black or white, it's conflict designed by the system. I don't need your pronouns, all I see is men and women. Kids are taking pills for fun while people can't afford prescriptions. If you don't like it, go. Hate it, then don't call it home. We don't need no violence, got no time for all you radicals. Screw your status quo, we're not animals. I won't kneel for the anthem, cause the flag is what I'm standing for. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America, got soldiers dying overseas. So America, you say what we believe. My America, I won't ever take a knee. Our freedom is the reason you can disrespect our flag. If my stars and stripes offend you, then I'll help you pack your bags. America, you can hate the government and still love the country. The fundamental values of America are concrete. Republicans and liberals are dumb, to put it bluntly. They're labels that they use to create chaos and corruption. You can know the history and still be proud of where you're from. Every flag around the world is covered in a little blood. We started out United States, divided is what we've become. If home is where the heart is, you should show America some love. In America, your freedom ain't free. In America,